Hi everyone, I'm Gio. Hope everyone's having the best blessed day that they could have today. I myself having a really good day. Everything went really well as it has been. So one of the things that I do daily is when I pray for a better relationship with God. I pray that He helps me to develop my relationship with Him on that day. So since I started going to church, back in December, and I first went because I was having to work. I had to work every Sunday. I was going to work at either 9 or 10 a.m. on Sunday, since I started working back in August. And so I hadn't been able to really go attend church. I would watch church service live, I would watch on YouTube and stuff, watch Elevation Church live on Sundays, but I hadn't been able to attend a service. But about the second week in December, a girl that previously worked with us, she said that she could come back to work on Sundays. So it made it so I was able to go to church one week. And then the next week she called in and then she said she couldn't come back to work. But when I went to church, something happened and it just gave me such a great feeling. And it was something that I knew that I had to have in my life. I knew that it had to be a part of my life. So I basically said that I want to be able to go to church, So we made it so I just go into work after church now. And so the person that's there, they just do without me for that hour. I do a little bit extra the night before or whatever to prep for the morning. But I just get there a little bit late is all. So, but had that girl not said she could come back for that week like that, I probably would have never gotten into being able to go, so that would have, so that was a blessing that, that she came back for that week like that, even though it was only for 1 week, because that made it so I have to go to church now, and so I'm very thankful for that. But, so every day though, I do pray to have a better relationship with God. So since starting to go into church and everything, basically 1 week I was told, there's a men's breakfast. So I went to that in January. It's basically the second week of that, or the third Saturday of every month. So I went to the breakfast in January, so I got to meet some people there. And then probably the week after that, I got invited to the prayer meeting, the prayer group, and it was on Monday morning. So now I've been to that 3 weeks in a row, which is helping my development and everything. I go there, I get to talk about God, and I get to be with other worshipers and other people that are that are born again and that are living in the light of God, that have a relationship with God. So that's amazing. And now today I got to go and spend time with Karen Macrina, who used to run the jail ministry. And she was the original person who gave me the $120 Bible by Joyce Meyer, Battlefield of the Mind, and told me that the Lord wanted her to give that to me, So she's basically the one who started out letting me know that God was trying to reach me, that God was trying to get a hold of me and everything, and that wanted me to have a relationship with Him. So she was the first one, So now today I got to go to her house and go spend time with her, which was an amazing thing, So further developing my relationship with God. And then from that today, we decided that we're going to have a Bible study, and it's going to be every Monday after our prayer group. So now I get to further, develop my relationship with God. So I do believe that is the most important thing that I can be doing, and I believe it's probably the most important thing that you could be doing as well. But for me, to develop that relationship and everything, every day, since doing this, every day gets better and better. Like every day, like I feel like everything is exactly like it's supposed to be, and I feel like I am living in the light of God. Everything I do, I try to do, does this please God, and I try to live my life like that. Is what I'm doing, will this be pleasing to God or not, So I keep that in mind with everything I do, so I'm not gonna like litter on the ground, because God created this world for us to live in, and He made it a beautiful, beautiful world and everything. So I'm not going to disrespect Him, or disrespect the world. So I think about things like that, and then it comes down to how you treat people, talking to people nicely and being nice to everyone, caring about people, showing a different level of care for people, which I believe I've always had. And I believe that that's why God, tried to reach me so much, because of that level of caring that I have for people. So these are the things that I do and that I'm working on. one thing I wanted to do was, I just wanted to talk about a couple things that when, like all throughout the day now, I try to focus on everything, you know, based on, improving myself. I'm really big on just improving myself now and make my life be the best that it can be. And so I can be as strong as I can be, and I can, be as healthy as I can be, and I can just do everything I can to put everything I can into my life now, to make my life positive now, you know, and it feels great to do that. So, like, I focus on my credit score. So I've been working on that, you know, regularly and doing all the little things I can do and stuff. So now my credit score went from a poor rating to a fair rating. So that's something that I put some time in on, and it's showing the results, you know. And then my weight, I wanted to lose a little bit of weight, so I got a weight scale that tracks my weight and everything. I have an app, it's a Weight Guru app and stuff. So since I did that, you know, I've lost around 10 pounds or so. So now I'm down to a little bit better weight because I was getting a little bit heavy, and I didn't want to do that because in the past I was really, really heavy for a long time, and it took the drug use and everything to always keep all weight off. You know, that was the only time I could ever do it, because aside from when I was on drugs, I didn't focus on what I was eating. I didn't put any effort into that. So of course I would get heavy and everything, and I wasn't worried about exercising and stuff properly. So, but these are all the things that I do now that I focus on, and that feel good. You know, it feels good to progress in life properly, and it feels good to know that I am doing things and having results for them, you know. So I really, really, really try to do that, and I try to keep that in mind always. But a couple of really cool things that I heard, it's just little things that I pick up. I watch all these sermons, and I listen to all these motivation videos and stuff always throughout the day. You know, I have my headphones in, I'm on my bike, or else when I'm here, I watch YouTube videos and stuff, and always about motivation and sermons on stuff and everything, just to try to get things, and I take notes and everything on them, and things that I hear that I think are positive, you know, and I think that might be a cool thing to share. So, where focus goes, energy flows. So just that statement right there, you know, where your focus is, what you're focusing on, you know, that's where your energy is going to go. So like I said, with everything I just talked about, you know, those are the things I'm focusing on my weight. So I'm putting energy into that, you know. So where focus goes, energy flows. So to people that are struggling with addiction and doing all that, where is your focus going? If you really, really think about that, because that's exactly where all your energy is going as well. So if your focus is going into getting substances, using substances, you know, that's where all your energy is going, and you don't have time for anything else. So it's what you do in private that rewards you in public. So I thought that was pretty interesting. It's what you do in private that rewards you in public. So it's not so much about, you know, what you do out in public, but it's what you do while you're by yourself, you know, while you're at home by yourself. Do you do things, you know, like for me, I watch these videos, you know, that are going to improve me. I focus on my exercising, I focus on watching what I'm eating and stuff, and that's going to reward me in public, you know, by the way I look, by the way I feel, by the way I'm just able to act and everything, and the knowledge that I have, you know, from watching videos or from reading the books that I've been reading and doing these different things. That all really, really helps you out a lot. So a couple other things. We're authors of our own story. So I thought that was interesting, because like, it's really, really true, you know, like everybody in the world, you know, you have your own story, you know, you're the one you have your own story, and you're the one that's writing it. No one else is writing it for you. You might be letting other people write it for you currently, you know, by the way that you're living and everything, but truly, like, you're the one that can take control of that, and you can write that for yourself. You're the one that can determine how your life is going to go, no matter what your circumstances or whatever, you know, you can change it. It might be hard to do, but you truly can change it, and you have to just really, really want to do it, and that's the next part. So you only live once, but if you live right, once is all you need. So this is true, you know, so we only live once, right? So for me, I'm 45 years old, and I spent pretty much, you know, the past 30 years, really about 30 years, you know, being an addict. And so for me, you know, that was not living right. I don't look back on that 30 years, and I don't think positively about it. You know, everything had to happen to get me to where I'm at now, But I wish it could have happened a lot sooner. You know, I wish I could be a lot younger, having all these thoughts now and coming to all these realizations that I'm coming to and feeling the way that I'm feeling. I wish I could have done this, 20 years ago. I wish it wouldn't have had to take so long. So for anybody out there who's struggling right now and everything, you have a chance to change it, because I promise you that once you do change, and once you are sitting, where I'm sitting now, where you're almost a year clean and stuff, the only thing you're going to do is you're going to regret that you didn't do it sooner. You're going to wish that you'd done it sooner. And you're going to look back and it's all going to just be regrets. Everything's going to be regret. You're going to regret time away from your family. You're going to regret, the decisions you made, the people that you hurt, the things that you had to do, to get your substances. Because everyone has to do something to get them. They don't just come free most generally. So you're doing something that you're probably not proud of and something that you probably are going to regret, once you stop using and you have to really take it in, everything that you've done and everything that's happened and everything, you're going to probably regret that. So the sooner that you can do that, the better. Like truly, the sooner that you can get to where you want to change, that's the first thing is you got to want to change. You have to want to do it. And you can, okay, the next one is you can imagine castles in the sky or shackles on your feet. So, I thought that was a really, really good one to hear. You can imagine castles in the sky or shackles on your feet. So, it's up to you for what you want to imagine, So, you can do whatever you want in your life. So, you can imagine castles in the sky. I can choose to think that life, the way that I see life now, I can choose to see life as positive. I can choose to see life as all possibilities. Anything is possible. I can choose to see life that I can accomplish anything and I can do anything now. And I can do that because I don't have the burden of being an addict anymore. I don't have that that's weighing me down. I don't have that taking all my attention. So now anything I want to put my attention into, I can and I will accomplish it and I will do it. I know that I can do that now. So I'm seeing castles in the sky, or else you can see shackles on your feet. So that just means that, when I was an addict, that's what I was. I was shackled by the drugs. I was shackled by the life. I was shackled by everything that went along with it that kept me in it. That didn't allow me to get out. That didn't allow me to have these good feelings about myself, except for the only good feelings I would have then is when I was high. And then those good feelings would just last for shorter and shorter amounts of time. And they wouldn't be as good. They would be less and less enjoyable every time, and that's what happens. The drug gets less and less appealing as you go along, but at the same time, you need it more and more. But it does become less and less enjoyable, when you first start. So I thought that was really, really cool, though. I'll say it one more time. You can imagine castles in the sky or shackles on your feet. So just a really, really interesting thing, though, but I don't want to be shackled down anymore. I don't want to be stuck, in one spot. I don't want to be in fear of going to jail every day. I don't want to wake up needing something in order to get up and to function and be okay. I don't want to have those feelings anymore. I want to feel like that life is limitless. I want to feel like that anything is possible. I want to feel like that I personally can accomplish anything I put my mind to. And that anything I want to happen, I can make it happen. I want to have that feeling. I want to see that life. So that's your choice that you can do as well. You can choose which way you want to live. Do you want to be able to feel like that there's castles in the sky? Or do you want to feel like that you have shackles on your feet? So that's the way I'm choosing it. And as someone that's had shackles on their feet, it's not fun. It's not fun at all. No, they hurt and they're never on right. So they kind of bang against your ankles and they're just not enjoyable thing to have. So if you haven't had that, that's something you definitely don't want. Okay, so any opportunities come, but are you ready for them? Many opportunities come, but are you ready for them? So when I heard this, it was just saying that opportunities are going to come your way. They probably have came your way already, but the thing is were you ready for them? So when I equate this to my life, okay, back probably, I don't know, a year and a half ago now, all of a sudden one day I look at my bank account, I had $29,000 in my bank account. Was not expecting it, did not think I was getting it, but all of a sudden $29,000 in my bank account. So that's an opportunity of all opportunities. I could have bought a house, I could have invested, I could have done so much with this money that I could have set myself up, pretty much for life. I feel like if I could get $1,000 right now, that I could do something with that and make it so that could last me my life, But I had $29,000 and that was, a huge opportunity. and all I did was squander it. I was not ready for it, and I just burned through the money, no care at all, and have nothing to show for it, a month later pretty much. And but that was a big opportunity. So a lot of times in your life, opportunities do come, but you have to be ready for them. So now I feel like now I'm in a place where any opportunity that comes my way, I would be ready for it, and I am prepared. So you have to start preparing for that now, though. You can't just keep going on, especially the life of an addict. Anything that comes your way, you're not going to take it. You're not going to be ready for it, and you're not going to, all you're going to do is either squander it, or else you're going to blow it off, or else you're going to, just not accomplish whatever it is that is in front of you. So I don't know many addicts that do many good things, in their lives that get very far. I don't know, when I got to the point that I got to, I didn't know many addicts that could keep a job. I didn't know many addicts that could do very much anything, I went years without keeping one single appointment. If I had to just do one thing in a day, it was too much. I couldn't ever do it. I couldn't make it to any appointments. Couldn't ever think about a doctor. I couldn't think about a dentist. I couldn't think about making a phone call. If I had to make a phone call in a day, it was too much, because I didn't know what I was going to be doing. I didn't know how I was going to be feeling, and I didn't know, what was going to be happening, and it's just such a crazy thing. So you have to be ready for any opportunities that may come your way. Okay, and then, so instead of, the next one I wrote down, instead of blaming the world, etc., you need to believe that you can be more, that life can be better than you allow yourself to take the correct steps to get there. Okay, so a lot of times, in my life in the past and everything, I would look for faults. I would look for reasons why I was the way I was. I would look for people to blame. I would look for, just pointing out this thing, from my childhood and say, that this caused me to be this way. But I was looking for all these reasons why I was the way I was, instead of thinking that I could do better, instead of thinking instead of just having the thought, I can do better with my life. I can be better. I'm thinking I'm this reason because this happened to me. You know what I mean? But when you start thinking I'm better than this, I know I can do better, I know I can be better. Now you're opening your mind up to allow better things to happen. You're opening your mind up to be able to have thoughts of better things, be able to have thoughts that you can do better things, and just to know that you are better than that, and to know that you can do better than that, is such a great feeling. Instead of just finding all the reasons why you are the way you are, you find the reasons to change the way you are. So you can't be blaming anyone else for anything. You can't just be thinking the world is at fault. You can't be thinking all the bad things. You can't be thinking anyone who's a felon. You can't be saying I'm a felon, I can't get a job. You gotta say that, I'm a felon, but I'm going to be a heck of a worker, so I know I can get a job. I know I'm going to do a good job. I know that. And you have to have those thoughts. You have to believe that you can do these things. You have to believe that these things are meant for you. You have to believe that anything is possible. You have to believe all these things, because if you go the other way with it and you just think all these things aren't going to happen, or else, and you're just going into anything with that thought that this isn't going to happen, this isn't going to work, this isn't going to be this way, then it's not going to work and it's not going to happen. But if you go into the thought, where, okay, this is going to work, I can do this, I can do these things, this is meant for me, this is, I have potential, I have all these things in front of me, I can do all these things, I just have this one bad thing that happened to me, whatever. But you're not focusing on the bad thing that happened, you're just focusing on what you can do instead of focusing on what has happened to you, if that makes any sense at all. So that would be the way that I would go with that. But, because if you're always saying you can't do it, then you're not ever going to, and you're not ever going to, then you're never not going to give yourself a chance. So just like I said, though, if you're always thinking that you can't do something, or you're not going to do something, if you go into something saying they're not going to give me a job because I'm a felon, then you're not going to get the job because you're a felon. But if you go into the thing thinking okay, I am a really good worker, and I know I can do this job, and I know I'll be great at this job, and these are the thoughts that you have, instead of focusing the other way, then that's how you make things happen. That's how you make everything possible. So these are the things that I do now in my life, and these are the way that I'm focusing my life, and it all starts with my relationship with God. It really, really does. So I try to build that every day, and I try to work on that, and that is the main thing, and I just try to live a life that's pleasing to God. I know it's kind of like the old me would find this very, very corny, and I wouldn't believe in this at all, and I wouldn't buy into this necessarily at all. But now the new me doesn't care that I'm corny. I don't care about any of that. All I care is that I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing what's best for myself, and I'm doing what's best for my life, and I'm doing what makes me feel good. You know, what's making me feel the way that I feel. What's giving me the strength that I have now. These are the things that I care about now. I don't care about how I look to anyone anymore. I don't care about how I sound to anyone. I don't care about what anyone thinks about me, you know, necessarily. I just care that I know what I'm doing, and I know that what I'm doing is right, you know, and I can be on board with that. You know, before, I mean, anyone who's using substances and that's an addict and everything, you know what you're doing isn't right. So you can't ever feel good about it, you know. So, but right now, me, myself, you know, I'm almost a year clean. I am working on all the things that I'm working on, so I am able to feel good about myself. I have pride. I take pride in my work every day. I take pride in what I'm doing in my life. I take pride in how I talk to people. I take pride in the way I look, the way that I act. I take pride in all that. And so it feels really, really good, you know, and I have so much hope for my life right now. Like, I can't tell you how much, like, I feel like I can accomplish anything. I feel like that the sky's the limit, and I feel like I'm going to, you know, do a lot in my life still, you know, but I just wish I could have gotten here sooner. You know, I wish that I could have told my 21-year-old self, you know, that, like, you're going to waste the next 14 years of your life, 15 years of your life if you keep doing what you're doing, and stop then. You know, I wish I could be back then and be where I'm at now, you know, instead of just starting now at 45. Like, I wish that I'd done it sooner. So I advise anyone out there who's watching, you know, if you're an addict, if you're suffering anything, you know, you want to do it soon. You don't want to be this person anymore. You really, really don't. It feels so much better on the other side. It really does. It feels amazing to live a life you can be proud of. It feels amazing to live a life with hope. It feels amazing to just live my life, you know, for God, basically. That's what it comes down to. So the very last thing, someone suggested to me that I should say a prayer at the end of my video, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to pray for everyone. I'm going to focus this, you know, mostly on addicts, because that's basically what I was for so long, and that's such a big part of me that I want to, you know, try to show others that they can do this as well, and how good it does feel to do this and everything. So that's who I'm going to focus the prayer on. But, so Father, I pray that you would give all addicts the spirit of wisdom and revelation in the knowledge of you. The eyes of addicts' understanding be enlightened, that addicts may know what it is, the hope of your calling, what are the riches of the glory of your inheritance in the saints, and what is the exceeding greatness of your power toward us who believe. I pray that you would grant addicts, according to the riches of your glory, to be strengthened with might through your Spirit in the inner man, that Christ may dwell in all addicts' hearts. Through faith, that all addicts, being rooted and grounded in love, may be able to comprehend with all the saints that is the width and length and depth and height to know the love of Christ, which passes knowledge, that all addicts may be filled with all the fullness of God. So I myself was once an addict. You know, they say that you always be an addict, but I really, 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 like, I know I'm not going to use again. I really know that. Like, I can't imagine a situation that would make it so I would do that again, because I don't want to feel that anymore. You know, I'm over it. I'm over it. Like, I wasted too much of my life doing that, and I don't have any more of my life to waste. You know, I gave too much of my life to being an addict. I gave too much of my life to my addiction, and I gave up too much, you know, by doing that. So, and I don't want to give up anymore. I don't want to lose anymore. I don't want to start over anymore. I don't want to have to try to build myself back up again. I don't want to do that. I want to be built up like I am now. I want to stay up like I am now. I want to have stuff like I have now. I want to stay where I'm at now. So I don't plan on looking back. So, but to all the addicts out there, like, it feels great to get here. It really, really does. You know, I hope that you all can somehow find a way, you know, and just start this journey soon, because the sooner you start it, the better you're going to feel, and the sooner you're going to feel better, and the less time you're going to waste. So I love you all. I wish everyone the best. Remember that it's nice to be important, but it's super important to be nice. God bless.